Alright, Kyle, you're the one that asked for this video, so I decided I'd get you as soon as I can. Different Kyle, this is the one that's interested. Anyway, this Rocky usually helps me out on anything I need to work on. But this is it, 75 Dodge Power Ram. It's Frankenstein from a lot of different vehicles. Told you, it's got some cosmetic damage by a lot. You're definitely going to need new tires. These tires are shot. This one right here needs aired up about every 3 days minimum, or else it'll eventually pop right off the rim. And trying to reseal that shit is not something I feel like doing anymore. These tires are way too big for this.
They hit.
And
They rub.
they rub. They do. Right here on the edge in the fender walls. The guy I bought this from originally cut these out so he could put these big tires on. They still rub. Now what he thinks he's rubbing on the rim, these tires are too big. They're not rubbing on the rim. They're actually rubbing right down here on the fucking steering column. Yeah. So it turns into a bitch when you crank hard to the right. I know you want to hear the vehicle running, so I'll get it running here in just a bit. It does run like a champion. It's got a dual pump Holley carburetor on it, and we think it's a 383 small block motor. Now, no confirming on that. That's what we believe it is. And I'm not quite sure how to test it. I'm not really a good motor guy.
Well,
It runs like a chance.
383, the distributors in the back, the 400 distributors in the front.
Alright.
So the distributors in the back are making a 383.
Sounds...
The distributors out is in the back. Your 400s and all that is in the front. Distributors in the front. So
Okay.
It's either 360 or 383.
Alright. So you heard that part. Now it does run. And as for the wiring on this thing, it has caught on fire under the hood once before. It got rewired after that. And the guy I had doing it, well, he's questionable at best, but you can see the clusterfuck mess, and I'm kind of afraid to mess with any of the wiring on it because I don't know what's going to fuck it up and what isn't. I got an old battery in here. It does hold a charge as long as it's run regularly. But I don't have it hooked up right now because I needed these posts for another vehicle I had. But I can still get it running, no problem. It's got an electric fan on it that you have to activate manually every time you start it. Anyway, this is the general shit under the hood. Now let me show you a lot more of the cosmetic damage that I told you about. The windshield, I bought 2 different windshields and we tried to install them 2 different times. My mechanic was nice enough to break both of them. So it's spiderwebbed out on the passenger side here. It probably will not be legal for Utah. The radiator needs flushed out. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a hole in it. It's hold pressure so far. I have driven it through town, taking it back and forth to work every once in a while when it was warmer, but there's no heater, no cooler, so I sure as hell ain't doing it. Alright, thanks, Rocky. Okay, it does have a matching set of rims with the tires. Now, like I said, the tires are shitty, but the rims are in good condition. There's a matching set of 5 of them. You'll notice this odd little mess we got going on for a roll bar in the back. Now, I originally had drawn out a design for it, and he didn't keep to it, and he welded the roll bar on the inside of the cab, which is supposed to hold up the cab, to the back roll bar that's in the bed. You know, I know you got a bigger brain than that, so it obviously caused damage, and when this thing went down the road and flexed off-road, it sheared the entire cab off. So, until this gets cut and gets a rubber grommet placed in between it, it's going to be loud as fuck going down the road or off-roading, whatever you feel like doing. And he also used an old tailpipe to extend the roll bar. Now, I can fix this welding job, but I do not have a welder. He used 2 different types of weld material. He used an old fucking muffler for this small section right here, and that's on the inside as well, which that one didn't break, but this one did because he used it like a fucking come-along because I let him use the truck for a couple weeks. But anyway, a long time ago, dump truck fell on the top end of this cab. That's why it's all cut out, and it's an open back cab. So I recommend driving in warm weather, but with the windows up, you really can't feel shit, and it's warm as hell because you still feel the heat off the motor. Alright. Right now the front drive line is not hooked up to it, but it is right here in the back. And all I need to do is just set that right back in there. I just don't have the bolts to put it back in with. So I need to go get those fucking $10 over at AutoZone. Now, gas cap, nothing special here. You generally know that shit. Here's the inside. You were interested in the steering wheel. It's tightened up, set on there. It's all fancy. I'm guessing you like it because it's kind of a sports look to it. This is a toy. I originally bought the truck for a fifth wheel, something to pull a fifth wheel with, but yeah, it's officially a fucking toy now because it's too goddamn big. And I pulled the fifth wheel hitch out of it, and I'm going to put that in something else. Now, as you can see, there's a fucking hole down here. We disconnected the lever to the four-wheel drive and manually activated the four-wheel drive from underneath on the side of the transmission. What else? Here's your glove box. The seats, I know they look pretty decent in condition on the online pictures, but there is some damage to them, cigarette burns and such, welding burns because he didn't cover the seats when he was doing this hack fucking welding job. But they're actually not torn. They just got little cigarette burns and welding burns on them. It is hermaphrodited like a motherfucker. It's a Dodge body. It's got a Chevy axles underneath the son of a bitch. And I can't remember. I think this motor is a Ford something. Can't remember altogether. Anyway, we're going to top off the radiator again because I had it sitting with just water and it got cold enough here to freeze, so we drained that. So I'm going to take a minute, fill that up, and we're going to get ready to jump it, and I'll let you hear it start and everything, okay? Oh, we ready? Alright, we're going to hook it up and get her started for you. Set that right over here to the side. I know. You mind holding this? Alright.
Okay.
It's on. It's still recording and everything.
Okay. I'm gonna hook this thing up, get it started.
Don't have the battery hooked up because I already told you why. I needed the post.
Here we go.
And this is his little truck. For sale for $3,000 if you're interested.
Yeah, this is my truck. It's 88 Ranger. It runs better than that. Hook it up. And then crank it.
Alright.
Take your...
We do have this pretty little green key, but any key will work.
Don't say that.
This is only going to one person, so.
Yeah.
Alright. Speaking of which, seats do not slide. I have an issue trying to. Alright, we got power set up. Now, it doesn't start by the key. It's a button start down here, right next to the toggle switch that starts the fans. Okay? Alright.